Everyone has probably considered losing weight at one point in their life, even when the goal is not to build muscle. Losing weight is one of the most talked about goals in the fitness industry, and it's a decision that many beginners are often left to make when they're thinking of building muscle. Despite the fact that losing weight or cutting down might involve a number of different things, it generally involves cutting down more calories than you consume, which means that at some point, your body will have to resort to fat stores within it to generate energy for proper functioning. While you might think that the best way to lose weight or cut down is to trim down your diet or go for a few days fasting or something like that, it surely goes beyond that, and in today's video we'll be showing you how to cut and lose weight in the right way. Do stay tuned and enjoy! Before going straight into the effective ways that can help you lose weight, there are a few questions that are not always given a lot of attention when it comes to losing weight. The first of them is losing weight the right thing to do? Well, this is always a very tricky question for beginners who are looking to build muscle. As you might have also probably heard, many beginners choose to lose weight because of the myth that you can only gain muscle by losing weight and cutting down your calories. The truth is that it's not always the case. In fact, you can stick with maintaining your diet and still gain muscle as long as you don't gain additional weight. Even interestingly is that you tend to be at risk of losing muscle when you excessively lose weight. If you lose weight and lose muscle along with it, you'll only be making things harder for yourself. It's also not advisable for young people who are still in the stage of puberty or those who have just passed that stage to prioritize cutting, as they should instead focus on exercising and getting enough nutrients to maximize the effects of their more elevated growth hormones. Another question many people don't really pay attention to is, when should I cut? There are several points at which you can choose to cut, and one of them is when you already have more than the recommended body fat that keeps you in the safety zone. For men, this percentage is at 22%, while women have it at 28%. If your body fat exceeds these, then it's a perfectly good time to cut. However, you should not cut below 10% for men or 12% for women, as this could put you in real danger, because the less body fat you have, then the higher the lean mass lost during cutting. Another parameter you can use is body mass index, and while this might not always be accurate, it's better to start cutting when you're already at the overweight stage. You can use the weight scale if there's a particular size you're targeting. One thing you shouldn't use for determining when to cut is your mirror. As telling as it might seem, it doesn't show the true picture, and sometimes you don't need a cut to even grow muscles. Since we've covered when the right time is to cut and if cutting is for you, the next thing to consider is, of course, why you're here. And it is, how should I cut? Cutting down your calories is a major process when it comes to losing weight, but most times people don't understand what it means, and they eventually end up dropping a lot of their usual daily consumption. Instead of this, you could use a calorie counter to not only gauge the amount of calories you need per day, but to also help you determine how much you're consuming per day. There's no need to make any drastic changes to your diet. Instead, you should gradually deal with this aspect before even further reducing your intake when you're noticing weight gain instead of a loss. Protein, vegetables, and healthy fats should also be more dominant in your diet, while you reduce or eliminate refined carbs from whatever you're already eating. Your diet and what you eat might be very important in the weight loss journey, but never forget to exercise. You should start with compound exercises and also aim to train at least 3 times a week. You should also target at least 2 sets of 6 reps as a beginner before then increasing the sets and reps as you improve. Training to failure is also important, as it gets your muscles into a position that trigger growth, and you should never forget to apply progressive overload with time. Essentially, being consistent is one thing you'll have to do throughout the process, and one way that will help you to do that is to try out different diets and see which one works for you. Research has shown that no specific diet option has a superior adherence to its counterparts, and this means you can try out a keto diet or even intermittent fasting to see which one you prefer, as the goals are still directed towards losing weight. How often have you tried fasting for your weight loss goals? Let us know in the comment section. If you also enjoyed the video, hit that like button, share with your friends, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, then you should also check out 5 things nobody tells you about getting shredded.